Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Roast.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our reaction and review for the Traitors Season 3, Episode 9. The Chaos Upon All Chaos episode. This is where the heavens rain down reality TV goodness and the internet rain down a level of, I don't know, vitriol opinions that I have not seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know, if you've been watching with us all season, that I am a huge Carolyn fan. I'm pouring one out for my girl. It was tough to watch, but as a fan of Carolyn, I feel like there was a couple of mistakes she actually made in this episode. I mean, Danielle was there to sweep it all up, but I mean, overall, Carolyn, you played such a great game. I know you're watching this video with all of us, but man, she played such a great game.
And this is where I think things get really interesting, because I've seen people be really, really mad at Danielle online. I've still seen people call Danielle a terrible traitor online, even at this point, after this move. And it's just, if I have to sit here and be the Danielle defender, which I am more than happy to do at this point, it's that not only is she the only original traitor left on this season at this point, if she does not orchestrate this move right here to get rid of Carolyn, arguably the best player this season, because we watched a lot of those videos of like people reacting to the traitors after they're eliminated. All of them were completely shocked by Carolyn. Carolyn would have won this game if Danielle did not make this move. It is incredibly impressive.
100%. Carolyn was just sailing her way to the end. No one was going to get her except for Danielle. And I think unfortunately, Carolyn was in a no-win situation. I feel like Danielle was not being honest, and she can come out later and be like, no, I was totally being honest. I would have rode to the end with Carolyn, but I don't believe it. She already had tried to turn on her. I understand why Carolyn was not going to have Brittany, who's a very obvious alliance. Everybody in the mansion knows it, that this is an alliance. You're not going to bring her in. And that wasn't going to be the thing that was going to make Danielle be like, you know what? You're not giving me what I want. Now I'm going to get rid of you. That wasn't going to be it. It was Ivar who lied and said that Carolyn dropped Danielle's name. I rewatched that an unhealthy amount of times. She didn't. You did. You dropped Danielle's name, and all she said was yes. And then he went to her and was like, you know who dropped your name? Is Carolyn. I was like, oh my God. Ivar has ruined so many people's games this season by telling untruths, and he's not even a traitor. Why are you lying?
Okay, see, Ivar, this is partially your fault.
It is.
Carolyn, it's also partially your fault.
It
because
is.
Way earlier this season, you went after Danielle in a big way at the round table. You cannot expect that all of a sudden she's just like, whoop, I don't remember this anymore.
Yeah, but Danielle totally deserved it. She was out there speaking out Carolyn's name over and over again to everyone. Like, I know Danielle was like, oh, I'll fix it. And then she didn't. She didn't say anything. She just kind of like, boop-a-doo, boop-boo. Let's just pretend that I never said your name. Nothing ever happened. It's all good. I understand why Carolyn just is like, I don't believe you, and I'm not going to be able to believe you. Now you're up here in the turret pushing Brittany, that everybody knows you guys are like so close. You guys are in an alliance. Why in the world would I bring her up here so that you guys can gang up on me? Because if you guys are like, oh, there's got to be a female traitor and we got to give someone a female traitor. You're not giving Brittany, you're giving me. Like, I totally understand why Carolyn said no, but she was really in a lose-lose situation and she made some mistakes.
All right, well, we have so much more to get into on that. Plenty of tinfoil hat theories, a whole lot more. Before we do, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because this is an insanely busy time for all things reality TV here at the channel. We are obviously in the midst of the Traitors that is starting to wind down, but we are also currently covering the new season of Love is Blind over on Netflix, which is a really, really good time. Survivor 48 is right around the corner, and not too long after that, The Amazing Race is finally back. So yeah, it's safe to say we got a lot going on.
It's also my birthday on Friday. So if you want to give me like a little bit of a 50th birthday gift, hit that subscribe button. Also follow us over on Patreon for more Traitors coverage, Survivor, all the wonderful shows you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Also, we are covering over there exclusively The Pit, which is airing on Max.
Yeah.
And Prime Target, which is airing on Apple TV Plus, and it is the only place that you can get those weekly reviews. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined our Patreon. It's helping support us to continue to make more videos for you guys.
Thank you guys so much. Okay, I'm just gonna ask a really crazy question at this point.
Yes, I love Carolyn.
Okay, I love Carolyn too. I mean, don't get it twisted, everybody. I'm sitting here on a Danielle soapbox, but I do love Carolyn. I think Carolyn deserved to win her season of Survivor, if I'm being totally honest here.
I 100% agree.
Like, I like Jam Jam, but I just think Carolyn was extraordinary. But if Carolyn had actually let Danielle recruit Brittany as a traitor, do you think that Carolyn would be gone at this point?
Yeah,
okay.
Gone.
I'm not sure.
Absolutely do. I feel that they just have so much untrust between them, and Danielle didn't do anything to make Carolyn feel better about that. She said she would back when there was that big fight and Rob is just like, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, Danielle said, yes, I did this. I spoke your name. I am going to make it better. And then we all watched that next episode and she didn't say anything to anyone to make anything better about anything. She did nothing. So, I mean, I completely understand why Carolyn just wasn't ever, that trust was never going to be built. And I feel like if Brittany was recruited, the two of them were just going to take out Carolyn. They were never going to bring Carolyn to the end.
It was a very difficult situation. I think at the end of the day, and we'll get into this more as this video goes along here, but I think this is really a matter of, okay, who struck first and who struck the most aggressively at this time? And Danielle just managed to beat Carolyn a little bit with the aggression, and Carolyn wasn't fully ready for it at this particular juncture.
I think the biggest thing that pushed Danielle into the point where she was like, now I'm totally going for this, was the move by Ivar, who doesn't even know that he made this move, because she was planting some little seeds, but she wasn't really moving that hard on it or that forward on it. Maybe the next time around she might have gone for it, but the minute that Ivar came in and was like, you know who was speaking your name? Yeah, it was Carolyn. And he just told this flat out lie like this. You saw it all change on her face where she was like, yeah.
Okay, let's pour one out for Sam really quickly here, because
Yeah.
I have two takes on Sam. Number one, the last two episodes of Sam have been very, very much entertaining. It's like, where was this Sam all season? Second thing is Traitors. Next season, however many seasons you do this reality TV model here in the United States, you guys need to actually start putting more people as traitors who are not just Survivor and Big Brother people. I know that they
Good
did
luck
have
with that.
I know they had Bob this season, but I'm sure a part of this is also, if I'm going to tinfoil hat them, they're probably just like, we want to make sure we put people in the role of traitor who we know can handle it, because it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of stress, blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, we never really have a chance to get to know people like Sam, because he's not a traitor. He's not a big name in the reality community. They're not giving him a lot of time with the edit. And lo and behold, actually kind of interesting. We just never knew.
Yeah, I know. They were never, he's not, I know I said this before, and there were people in the comments that were like, he's got the most Instagram followers. And absolutely, that is true. But at the same time, he is not more famous than someone like Danielle or Carolyn or Boston Rob. You're going to bring up Sam, you're going to bring up Boston Rob to this group of people, all of us, the reality fans. Nobody knows who Sam is. Not nobody, but most people are not going to know who Sam is compared to Boston Rob. It's a very specific group of all of us that are here, which is, you know, the reality group.
Yeah, I understand their logic. I don't like their logic. I will just throw that out there. It's not the only thing I don't like about this season, but there are plenty of things I like. And with that, let's all play a game of, what is this? Chess? Checkers?
Okay, what I'm going to say is, if they're going to bring out queens for this game of chess, where is Suri? She is the absolute queen of traitors. She played a beautiful 10 out of 10, flawless game as a traitor. And she should have been one of those queens. I don't know if she was asked and she said no, or they didn't ask her. But if they didn't ask her, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just feels like a second tinfoil hat. There's a lot of these this video. I feel like NBC Universal, they have their people that they like for whatever reason. You know, Below Deck, Bravo property. I know Parvati's a Survivor person. She's on Deal or No Deal Island right now. NBC Universal. It's just like, Sari, I do agree with you. It should be Sari. Sari is an icon. Sari won.
Sari won! Like, she won their first season. She is the queen of traitors. She should have been there.
I liked this challenge. I will say that. I'm not sitting here and being like it radically changed the game or did anything else, but I do think it exposed some of Carolyn's weaknesses in that she, and this is ironic because it's a part of what we love about her, is that she kind of just speaks sometimes before she really thinks everything through. And I think she just got a little bit too gung-ho to be a team player, because it's sort of that experience where you get answers to the test before the test, and then you want to help your friends, and so you want to go up to them in the hallway and be like, I have the answers. But you shouldn't do that on this show.
Yes, it was a big part of her undoing with some of the other cast. I mean, we saw Dylan basically being like, you know what, I'm going to start listening more. Something that Sam said in the last episode. He's like, I've learned to really listen. And because of that, I'm able to pick up on things. And he really did. And Dylan now is doing the same thing, where he's just like, yeah, I'm really blinded to the people I'm close to. And of course, I like them. I want to continue playing with them. But like, why am I still here? There's got to be a traitor that's keeping me here. And yes, of course, there is, right? So he just stood back, listened, and it worked out for him. It didn't work out for Carolyn, of course. It breaks my heart. But Carolyn is unable to filter herself. It is why she's amazing. It is why I genuinely just love her so much. And it is why she is so good at a lot of these games, because she feels very much like what you see is what you get. Yeah. And that's why nobody was suspecting her of being a traitor. And I think if some of these other things hadn't come into play, she may have actually skated through this if it was just Dylan kind of paying attention, like, she's kind of gotten a couple of these right, and she's pushing a little bit hard on a couple of these.
Yeah, I think every person in the game at this point, especially in this edited reality TV world where we only see so much, I'm sure everybody on this show has a couple of sprinkles of suspicion on them as the season goes along. And this could have been that with Carolyn.
Like, why then was Dylan not suspecting Tom Sandoval? He guessed himself correctly, and he guessed some of the other stuff correctly as well. And I understand everyone just thinks that he's like not being taken seriously, but he's been right about a bunch of stuff this season, like, if we're being honest. And he's kind of in that, I hate to say this, so please, oh my gosh, I have my hard hat on. All right. He's kind of in that same space as Carolyn, where people don't take him seriously. He's kind of just like, I'm just going to throw this out and this out and this out. No one's taking him seriously. If he was a traitor, no one would be looking at him.
I hate myself for saying this, but Tom was kind of funny in this challenge because he's such a narcissist. He can't keep himself from thinking he is the main character. He's thought he's the main character this entire season, to the point
his whole life, it feels like.
It's so obnoxious. So this is not a I'm laughing with you sort of you're funny. This isn't I'm laughing at you sort of funny with Sandoval. But you know what? You've kind of earned it. So I laughed at you during this challenge. Carolyn, you made some mistakes. Dylan, I tip my cap to you once again. We had a little bit of a falling out at one point this season where you were too much, being buddy-buddy with Boston Rob, but you were showing the ideal faithful way to play, which is you got to be adaptable. You got to roll with the punches. You seemingly, and you alluded to this, you learned something from Sam as to how to play. You evolved after Boston Rob left. You continue to try to make changes to your game. And at the same time, you don't have that much suspicion on you, so you're able to kind of stick around.
I just feel like if Danielle doesn't go next, I don't know what's going on with everybody, because even Gabby had brought up where she was just like, okay, the last time we saw this, it was two traitors going at each other,
Yes.
and they were both very vocal at the table. The same thing is unfolding here again. Nobody seemed to catch this, but when Danielle's vote came over, Carolyn looked at her and went, good job. And I don't know why nobody caught that, because it was very, very obvious that she was like, okay, yeah, you got me because I didn't get you and because we're both traitors. But Gabby bringing that up and everybody else also kind of being like, yeah, we have seen this already this season. Danielle collapsing on the floor. Like, I understand that she's been playing we'll call it dramatic game where she's like crying and throwing herself on the floor and whatever, but it's so dramatic at this point. The minute I saw her fall on the floor, I love Danielle, but I audibly laughed watching that, where I was just like, you have got to be kidding me with this. How is anybody buying this? You are on a reality show. You sent out Carolyn, who was a traitor, who you were fighting with, and now you're collapsing on the floor. It felt very much like she might as well have just been like, I'm a traitor.
Was it good? No. Was it also great? Yes. And
Great
by great, I mean great TV. It's going to be memed to death. All of you people out there who are so mad about Danielle being so emotional and doing all that, you are going to make,
fine with that.
You're going to make memes of this for years. You're going to get so much mileage out of this that you should not be as upset or as salty. And I've also seen all of your silly tinfoil hat theories of, oh, everybody knows Danielle is a traitor. And
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, and that might be true. And they might be keeping her because they can get rid of her at the end, and that's easy. It does, at the end of the day, to me, it doesn't matter as much because she was able to get rid of the biggest threat in the game by far. And yeah, she is. And you're right. You are 100% right. She's not long for this game. This is mutually assured destruction.
Here's where I think we're kind of going with this is Danielle has made the mistake of being very obvious, and Brittany has made this mistake too, of them being so close together and in such an alliance together. And because this is now a situation where it's just an ultimatum, it's, leave the game or join. Obviously, she's going to join, right? So everybody's going to show up at breakfast. Nobody gets murdered. They're going to know that Danielle recruited somebody. Who's she going to recruit? It's obviously going to be Brittany. Even Brittany was like, she can't do something like that. Would she do something like that? Why would she do something like that to me? It's so obvious, right? Where I'm starting to feel like people will feel that Brittany has been recruited. They will probably get rid of her or Danielle, and then whoever's at the end, they'll just throw in the red bag and vote her off. Like, I just don't think she's going to be able to win this game. I hope that I'm wrong, actually, because I do think that Danielle has played. She's made some mistakes, of course. Is she overly dramatic on this season? Sure, but that doesn't bother me, except for the throwing herself on the floor thing. That was a bit much. But overall, especially this episode, I say this as a Carolyn fan, she planted some really good seeds in this episode, like her sitting down with Dolores and kind of being like, listen, whoever you see is a little like loud at the round table, just take note of those types of things. She did it exactly right.
This is the Danielle Reyes that I think people came to love on Big Brother 3, and why they were so mad that she didn't win that season, because she plays really hard and she puts her absolute all into this, to the point where, yes, it is too much at times. It is ridiculous at times, but she's giving you everything you could want in the game moving forward. But you mentioned Brittany, and yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit telegraphed, like you've lined out. Unless they're just keeping Danielle to get rid of her in the finale, it feels like Danielle is inevitably going to be next. So if you are Brittany, and I will speak directly to you now, Brittany, since you are one of my favorite people, I hate to say this too, you need to be Tom Sandoval's best friend for the rest of the game. I know it's only a couple of days. He has continued this terrible narrative that Dolores is a traitor to the point that at this round table, him and Dolores are Spider-Man memeing, pointing at each other and voting for each other and completely wasting their votes. If you can get him to continue to do this and get to the very end with him and Dolores, he can red bag it. You guys can take out Dolores and then you can win the game and then you can taunt Tom Sandoval to his face, which would be the greatest thing in reality television history.
Yeah, and Tom, for whatever reason, has really trusted Brittany this season. We've seen a lot of clips of him talking to her and sharing his thoughts. Maybe she's one of the only people that's willing to entertain anything that he's saying. But I mean, did something further happen between Tom and Dolores that just didn't make the cut? Because I know that they have like the beefs of going back and forth.
Yeah.
But it felt very much like they had some sort of fight or something right before this round table where they both just decided to like set their votes on fire.
I don't understand it, where they had to have each known at the time they were voting that this is not going to work. They're not going to get each other out. Is this just the situation where you don't want to get involved in this other argument and you're just thinking, you know what? They're not going to be mad at me no matter what. So whoever stays, they're not going to want to get rid of me if there's a murder tonight. So I'm just going to be A-okay.
They are lucky that I am not on this show. If I'm on this show and you are burning votes this close to the end, I don't want to share the money with you. And I hate to say it, but it's the way that I would play. I want to share the money with people I want to share the money with. I don't want to share the money with people who are going to burn their votes or Tom Sandoval. So none of them are coming to the end with me as a faithful because I don't want to be a traitor.
As somebody who does want to be a traitor, I also do not want to go to the end of the game with Tom Sandoval. This is where
he doesn't deserve the money.
That is what's going to be hilarious at the end of this season because nobody wants Tom to win, right? And yet here he is, a pretty good spot to theoretically win. And this is another variable that we have to consider now. The whole, okay, who do you want to get some money at the end of this game? Who do you want to take at the end of this game? And this is where we do have to raise another big question when it comes to the Danielle and Brittany relationship here, because Brittany has already done Danielle dirty on reality TV in the past. What's stopping her from doing this again? Whereas I don't think Danielle, strategically, she should be thinking now at this point, okay, there's already been some smoke on Brittany at the round table. I'm making her a traitor so that I can get rid of her and buy myself a little bit more time. But I don't think she's thinking like that.
No, 100% she's not. I mean, she gave us this confessional where she's just feeling really bad about it. She's like, man, we've really gotten past that. We're really bonding here. I can't be a traitor and she's a faithful, or she's going to feel so betrayed. Like, I can't let that happen. I have to find a way to recruit her, and I will ride to the end with her. I believe her. I feel like Danielle will ride to the end with her. And I do feel that Brittany will as well. I feel that after everything that happened, that Brittany and Danielle have really formed a very tight relationship and that they'll share the money.
Yeah, it's a tight relationship. It's a dangerous relationship depending on where things go. I know a lot of people out there, and understandably at times, feel like the best of this season is now behind us because we've lost a lot of big people. We still have players like Dolores, who's not bringing anything for me. Ivar, who has brought apparently one thing, as you have already mentioned. He's not bringing anything else.
He's so frustrating. He has just brought frustration. Like, I understand some of it where, you know, he took what Wes said and went and started spreading it all over town. At least Wes said it, right? This is a situation where Carolyn didn't even say it.
Yeah.
He said it.
Okay. Advice to future producers, current producers, whoever is working on this show. Stop casting people who you're just famous because they're members of a royal family or some popular UK organization or something where they are not proven on reality television. Give us people who we know are going to bring drama. I do not want any more Ivars in the mix.
No.
Okay.
No.
One last big question I have for you. Survivor 50 is coming up. Is Carolyn a lock for you to be in that cast after? We don't know who's going to be in the cast. They haven't said. I hope her being on the Traitors.
I feel like she is.
I'm a little worried that her doing this show, which isn't CBS, that Survivor's going to get mad and not put her on. It's just I think she should be.
No, I think she will be. I mean, I really feel like it. That would be like them being mad that Cerise did the Traitors and they're not going to bring her back. And I'm sure they would bring her back as well.
Yeah,
but I do feel that Carolyn will be a lock to come back. Please make this happen. Oh my goodness.
I just felt like we had to do one last little thing here for Carolyn because I know she's probably polarizing in her own way. I want to see her back on Survivor because I love Carolyn. I think Carolyn is fiercely entertaining. I think she's very underrated as a player. Even now, making it really far in this show, making it to the finale on Survivor, I still think she's underrated. I think she will probably be cast, but it's also...
No but.
Okay, this is the only but I have. Okay, you can blah, blah, blah me all you want, but this is the only but I have is that I don't really trust Probst because we're coming on this video the same weekend that they have announced that Survivor 50, the theme is, it's whatever the fans want, which is a total cop-out because you are basically just being like, if these twists don't work now, you're just gonna be like, well, it's your fault. You voted on these. We're not responsible. So I am very concerned about whatever you're going to do and you're going to try to pass the buck in some sort of stupid way, but she should be there.
Yes.
And that's where we are coming out of The Traitors Season 3, Episode 9. So who are you guys rooting for? Let us know in the comments. And who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Gabby right now.
I am rooting for Brittany just on a personal level. I still find her very entertaining. It would be nice after all these years to see her really win a show.
Yep.
I think Dylan probably is going to win. He's gotten really good at it.
Yeah, he absolutely has. And I wouldn't be mad with a Dylan win, but please don't let it be Tom Sandoval.
No, I want somebody to win who I feel with confidence really played the game the entirety of the season. And like Dylan or not like Dylan, he has totally done that.
Yeah.
Hit that subscribe button. We want to get to 70,000. Jess's 50th birthday. Happy birthday. And you can support us more by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description. We are covering there exclusively The Pit on Max and Prime Target on Apple TV+. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you here next time.